Hello. We are going on our next trip to Singapore. So we're waiting for our flight now. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, flight is at 11, so we are gonna go to the gate now. See you there. Bye.
For traveling on Air Asia, we had to take two flights. The first flight was from Colombo to Kuala Lumpur, which is around 3.5 hours. And then we had like a 2 hour layover in Kuala Lumpur to reach our next destination, which is another 1.5 hour flight to Singapore.
So finally, we landed in Singapore and we were in Terminal 4, but we had to travel to Terminal 1 through the SkyTrain to see the jewel, which is the Waterfront. The only issue we had was it, it only opens at 11 a.m., but we went there at around 10, so we had to walk around and spend some time, see the other beautiful things we can be seen that there.
The main attraction in the Singapore airport is the slide. You can reach the next terminal or your flight from Terminal 3, which is the big slide you have from one floor to the other. But unfortunately, it only opened at 12, so we sort of missed it. So instead, we had nasi lemak, which we were craving for the first meal in Singapore.
Hello guys!
We are in Singapore, one of the biggest airports, I think one of them in the world, in Asia. And it's beautiful. There's so many things to see in every single terminal. So we spent hours walking around.
Yeah, and also we have to wait till like 11 a.m. to see this. And then we went to Woodlands Waterfront, which we can see Malaysia from Singapore. It's a nice view you can have. Basically, the road is like empty, but yeah, it's a nice place to go. And afterwards, we went to see the jetty from Singapore, and it's pretty much empty. No one's there, so it's a good place to get some nice photos.
Next, we went to see Fort Canning Park, which is one of the most known tourist attractions in Singapore. So this was actually known as the Forbidden Hill, and it was under the Malay royalty in the 14th century. But this became famous because it was the British Army headquarters during the World War II. Right now, it has this den sort of area where you can take pictures. And however, there's so much of crowd, so if you are going there, please make sure you have enough time to take pictures there. Spend like an hour for this huge queue. So the Merlion is one of the most iconic places to see in Singapore. And this is a mascot which is a mix of a lion and a fish representing the sea town, which is also known as Singapuru, which means Singapore and city in Sanskrit.
So next we are traveling to Gardens by the Bay, which was basically opened in 2012, and it was created because Singapore is trying to be green, and we are hoping to see the light show, which is at 7:45 and 8:45. There are plenty more other things to look at, and also this is the floating baby. It is called The Planet by Mark Quinn.
The last stop of the day was definitely food. We went to the Newton Food Center, which was recommended by a lot of people on the internet. So, taking the hype, we went there. There was a lot of places to eat and a pretty big crowd as well. Taking the food, it was actually not a bad experience, but the variety was less. So, we would give it a 5 out of 10.
So that's all for day 1 in Singapore. Stay tuned for day 2 in Sentosa Island, which will be going around Universal Studios.